Kotaku is mad at Phil Spencer for comments he made about cancel culture. I got it on archive because it's Kotaku. Fuck 'em. Xbox exec praises devs for releasing games amid culture of cancellation. It's from Ethan Gach, so you know it's shitty. Microsoft CEO Phil Spencer juxtaposed the joys of gaming with the current sense of despair in the world after accepting the Andrew Yoon Legend Award at the 12th Annual New York Game Awards on Tuesday night. He also applauded creators who still release, quote, their visions, unquote, into the world in a current culture of criticism and cancellation, quote unquote. A loaded line at a time when debates are raging about the ethics of boycotting certain games like Hogwarts Legacy. His exact quotes was, as world builders, our greatest responsibility is to inspire and invite joy. It feels like today seeking joy is an act of defiance, he said. And they have more stuff here about it. You can read it for yourself. It's basically, your kind of stuff where it's like, our creators who bravely and intentionally release their visions to the world, particularly in the current culture of criticism and cancellation, are players who bravely and intentionally carve out time for our games to invite rest and rejuvenate their lives, and business leaders. We are called upon to have the courage to protect and nurture this collective joy. While the CEO has been an outspoken advocate for making Xbox a more diverse and inclusive force in the world of gaming, which doesn't buy him any leeway whatsoever with these idiots, the line about our current culture of criticism and cancellation could be interpreted as an anti-woke dog whistle and strikes an unusual note at a time when increasing numbers of developers and players expect game companies to be held accountable for their political views and ethical shortcomings. No, people like you do, but whatever. Then they talk some about Justin Roiland and Squatch Games, High on Life. It's been, it was revealed that the Rick and Morty co-creator was facing 2 felony domestic abuse charges from 2020 and that Squatch Games had settled a sexual harassment lawsuit a year prior in 2019. And then, of course, because, the Hogwarts Legacy and J.K. Rowling, who is currently waging a crusade against trans women, which I haven't seen that. All I've seen is that J.K. Rowling talks about that we need to not erase women and stuff. I'm not as well versed on this as other people. I don't, because I don't give a shit, what all these famous people think about things. But so maybe I'm off, maybe I'm a little wrong. But I don't think that J.K. Rowling is like some turf, terrible, anti-trans person. But anyway, good bitches about, the Harry Potter brand and blah blah blah. One of the game's voice actors, Sebastian Croft, recently apologized to anyone hurt by the announcement of his involvement in the game. Get the fuck out of here. Games developers at Avalanche Software have also sought to distance themselves from Rowling and included a transgender option in the character creator, which will likely be used by, 1% of the people who play the game, for Christ's sake. I mean, I'm not saying not to include it. I believe having as many options in the game as possible. Why not? Especially when it comes to accessibility and things of that nature. I'm all for that. The studio also parted ways with one developer over his YouTube videos containing support for Gamergate and other controversial views. It's like, to me, I don't think support for Gamergate should be that controversial. It's just about ethics and journalism. But, of course, they always try to sit there and talk about how there were some in Gamergate who went way too far and started doxing people and threatening and so on and so forth. Well, guess what? BLM does that. Antifa does that. They don't have any problems with that. They don't color the entire group or movement or whatever because of that shit, do they? But no, they try to do it with Gamergate because they disagree with them. Just like with the whole Me Too movement. There are still people to this day that go on about Amber Heard was done so wrong and everything when there's freaking video and audio evidence of her abusing Johnny Depp. That's neither here nor there, I suppose. I'll wrap this up real quick because this is the end of the article. They got this little also only indirectly profit off Rowling's work with Hogwarts Legacy. The game will be available on PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, and PC as well. Microsoft did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Basically, they're just trying to be, guilt by association. As I mentioned right here, is like, it's not clear if Spencer meant to take issue with people holding game creators guilty by association in some instances, which these idiots are trying to do right here by pointing out, Hogwarts Legacy is on pretty much every console. Or every system, because it's on PC as well. I guess it won't be on mobile, I suppose. So I guess you can't say everything, but almost everything. It's just ridiculous. I'll link this in the description box if you want to read it for yourself, or whatever. If you want to check out some of the links or whatever in here, I wouldn't recommend it though. Ethan Gach is an idiot, but whatever. I mean, if you want to, hey, go for it. I'll go ahead and wrap this up here. Like I said, though, thank you very much for watching, and have a good one.